Elliott, and I am with Matt. Matt, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Matt Sheriff. I'm one of the academic intervention specialists in the department.
And I am also one of the academic intervention support specialists at the department. I'm also the EL specialist, and we also have Miss Jackie here, who's also our contract worker who works with dyslexia. So she'll be helping us answer questions today. So I am going to share my screen. Oops. There we go. Okay, so welcome everyone. As you know, we always begin with our 6 State Board of Education goals and our vision and our mission. That just really guides the work that we do at the department as we strive to support you in your work. Just get us going today, so please mute your microphone, everyone, so we can reduce background noise. That would be great. Thank you. And let's just drop in the chat, what are you most thankful for this year, just to get us started? Am I unmuted now? Thank you so much. Okay, so just a reminder about the dyslexia screener dates. You had until October 22nd to complete those first grade screeners, and you'll have until April 15th to complete the kindergarten spring screeners. And remember, all of your data should be submitted by May 6th. Okay, and these are the dyslexia screeners that are available. We really have quite a few now. So our office will be releasing the dyslexia screener RFQ in the next couple of weeks. So that will open up the option for others to submit qualifications for the dyslexia screener. So the dyslexia training, awareness training is ongoing. As a matter of fact, Lori and Jada are out training a district today. And so our Office of Intervention Services, we will be providing those dyslexia awareness trainings for the state according to that House Bill 754. And our office will provide 4 one-hour sessions that will be recorded for teachers and paraprofessionals to complete. And those first 2 sessions will be released in September. They were released in September, and the second 2 sessions will be released this month. And you'll have until the end of April to complete the trainings. You can request on-site training from our intervention team if you prefer it in place of the video series, and the teachers will receive a certificate of completion at the end of the training and will also be able to apply for CEUs. For those that are applying for CEUs, there will be an additional follow-up activity to complete in order to get that 0.5 CEUs. And those will be issued by the Office of Intervention Services. So remember that the law doesn't specify that the MDE training is the only allowable training. However, you want to make sure if you're using someone other than the MDE, the following information has to be submitted. They have to have a valid teaching license showing the presenter has obtained a master's in dyslexia therapy. They have to have current CALT certificate for the presenter, and they have to have an outline containing the content that they plan to cover during the training. Once all that information has been approved, the district will complete and submit that spreadsheet with all the teachers who've completed the training. And so our office and the district will maintain a copy of this spreadsheet for our records and for your records. Just a reminder, we do have our academic intervention list and our behavior intervention list, and we do have some available behavior screeners. So this is just a list of them, and just list that some of them actually are free of charge for those screeners that you may be using with your students. Okay, so we have a request from our office. So if anyone would like to share how you are completing your intervention schedules, also please share what works best for that intervention scheduling. Please, if you're willing to share that with us, could you email any of your templates to Jada Brantley? And we have her email there. We are working to get some additional guidance for our secondary schools on some of the best ways and some alternate ways for scheduling those intervention services for students at the secondary level. And then just a reminder about our timeline. So that just, I think Matt was going to cover that. Matt, am I correct in that?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, just to quickly go over our timeline. Since the beginning of the start of the school year, we have just completed the month of October. So I just want to make sure that that your processes are moving along smoothly and seamlessly. And we want to make sure that you're using your documentation, making sure that you're capturing what's taking place in your meetings. Again, we've always said that if it's not documented, it didn't happen. But at this particular point of the year, you should have already completed the items under October, where you've reviewed the data that is provided from your 9 weeks grades to make a decision about students who need Tier 2 interventions. Meetings should have been scheduled for students who may need to be referred to TST for Tier 2 or 3. Schedule documented reviews of meetings for students in Tier 2, conducted no later than 4 weeks after implementation of Tier 2 interventions. Your student profile sheets should have also been completed and submitted for the TST meeting. Hopefully that was done at the start of the school year by your teachers. Any work samples that you have should have also been provided. And Tier 1 high quality observation form should have been completed by the administrator by this point. So again, this is just month by month guide. We're gonna skip on through to October. And this is basically everything that I just mentioned, where you completed your sections 2A, 2B, and 2C. For Tier 2, sections 3B, 3C, and 3D for Tier 3. And then any relevant data that you have that is supporting the need for intervention or referral for comprehensive assessment at this point should also be provided. And just a reminder that at any point throughout this process, you can refer a child to MET. You don't necessarily have to wait until the end of the intervention. The interventions can run congruent with the referral process. So if you suspect a child with a disability, go ahead and make that referral to MET and then provide the interventions as the process is happening. So in Appendix C, these are just some things to remember for the upcoming months. Just remember to conduct meetings for cumulative documented review for Tier 2. Again, no later than 8 weeks after the implementation of Tier 2 interventions, and then conduct TST meetings for the first documented review for Tier 3 students, and then again, that's no later than 8 weeks after implementation. For December, you want to make sure to conduct documented review meetings for students receiving Tier 2 interventions and compile intervention data to show growth over the semester. And then in January, you want to conduct your review of meetings for students in Tier 2 and teacher support team meetings for students receiving Tier 3 interventions. So this is just a guide to kind of help you move along throughout the course of the year and making sure that you're on track with your implementation of the process.
Yeah, and just a reminder that since you know that these meetings have to occur, you might want to go ahead and make sure that those are on your calendar and scheduled so that nothing else will interfere with them. So just kind of keeping in mind with the next couple of months and with January, take this time to really focus in on implementing your interventions and completing your mid-year universal screeners. This is really a good time to review the data that you have on hand for all of your students so far for this year, and then also make sure you're keeping your parents updated on the students' progress, and then you can make plans for that upcoming semester in January. So
and make sure you're including your parents in any meetings that you have regarding whether you're going to change the intervention or make a referral to MET, or you're moving the student from Tier 2 to Tier 3. So at those critical points of decision making, just make sure you're inviting your parents to those meetings.
Great. Okay, so that's all we have to share today. So we are now open for questioning. So any questions that we can't answer, we will take them down and we will get with Lori so that she can email out the answers when the recording is sent out. But we will do our best to answer any questions you have. So you can unmute or you can put your questions in the chat, whichever works
I
best.
have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
We are having a lot of miscommunication around behavioral screening in our district, and I've been telling parents that behavioral screening is mandated. It's not something that they can opt out of. Is that not? Am I not telling them the right thing? Can they opt out of having their child behavioral screened? I felt like it was just like universal screening, just what we do for all of our other stuff. Is that not the same?
Yeah, that's correct. It's just really just going to help you identify if there's some areas of concern that you need to focus on. And those behaviors don't necessarily have to be, disruptive behaviors.
Right.
So you want to talk to your parents about, this is just things too, like, do we need to help them specifically with organization? Or do we need to help them with, being more engaged in class, things like that. So we're not identifying bad behaviors. We're identifying how we can support students to be more fully engaged.
So it's a communication piece. We possibly can do a better job of communicating it. I got you.
Yeah,
Okay, thank
yeah.
you.
You're welcome. And that parent communication is key on really everything related to MTSS. That's really important that parents understand the process and that MTSS is for everyone. And the goal for MTSS is to support students, to help to lessen any gaps in any deficit areas.
I have a question about MSIS.
Okay, we'll do our best to answer that one.
When I enter the students that are in Tier 3 into the intervention section of MSIS, and then they go back into Tier 2, or they're referred for a ruling, for to the MET committee, how do I take them off of Tier 3 in MSIS?
Okay, so on the MSIS screen, isn't there a place to mark the next time you would mark it that they have, that it was successful and that you moved them back? And there may be somebody on the call who's more familiar with the MSIS screen than I am that could maybe help answer this question.
There is a place, like I'm looking at the screen now, when you get to the intervention part, you've selected your student and you put the referral to TST date and the decision date. Then you put, is the intervention successful? Well, if it's yes, and they remain in regular education, they could still be in Tier 3 and be in regular education. Or no,
Right.
you're referring to child study. But what if they've moved back completely into Tier 1? Or what if they've moved to Tier 2? Well, each month when I generate that list, I have the same students on there.
Right. Yeah. Let me check with, we'll ask Lori to get that answer for you. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar enough with the MSIS screen to be able to answer that.
Well, it's not my friend yet either, so I understand. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, and someone has put in here, they never go off your screen. You just enter intervention success Tier 1 into our general ed. Okay, thank you. And then someone else, Miss Jameson, is also stating that they're not going to be removed from the intervention screen. The second date is when the student is moved back to Tier 2 and moved forward with the comprehensive assessment. Okay. And then Ms. Butler says that the MSIS screen is not functioning properly. It does not function in the manner it's designed. I've emailed regarding it. Ms. Butler, if you could let us know, who did you email regarding that? Well, and she, okay. Oh, Jada Brantley. Okay. So we might need to, she'll probably connect with you on that. We can't fix the MSIS screen, but we will connect you with the person that can help you. Sometimes it's just a matter of something that you're clicking that is causing that to freeze up. So it's best that we connect you with our Office of Technology and Strategic Services on the best way to do that. Yes, I'm sorry. MSIS is a bit confusing. We're working to try and provide some additional supports for that. I believe that Ginger provided, when she was still with our office, I believe she provided a document that had screenshots of the MSIS screen so that you could accurately input your data. Does anyone recall seeing that? Yes, you have that. Okay, it was sent to us after a virtual hour session. We'll ask for that to get resent out for anybody who may not have been part of the virtual hours network. I believe that was a good bit ago that we did that. Any other questions? Is there any training on how to work MSIS? That's a great question. We don't have any at this point, but we can certainly request it. And maybe we can ask Lori if we can get someone from OTSS to maybe join our virtual hours next time to go through that with us. Okay, so someone was trying to click the links on the guidance document, specifically section 10 for chronic absenteeism, and all the links seemed dead. So were you able to actually get into the document though? Because we'll have to get somebody to make those reactivate those links. Okay, so you were actually able to access the rest of the items. It just was the links were dead. Thank you. Okay, we'll work on that. Okay. All right, perfect. Thank you. Any additional questions? And we appreciate your input on this because we need to know what is and isn't working as we have with the new format that we have for our website, and just as items get updated, sometimes a link will break and we just need to reapply that. Okay, well, if there are no other questions, we will give you back part of your day. And just a reminder that if you have any concerns or any questions, you can always email us. We're here for you. We're happy to help you with anything with your MTSS or dyslexia, English learners, gifted. Our team is here to help you. So thanks for joining us today. We appreciate you. And have a great rest of your week.